Network. Sharmee Divan and I are here today hosting Light Language One with the Light. And our special guest today is Jeannette Wesolowski. We are having a couple of tech issues, so if one of us freezes, we're just going to carry on. We are so glad to be here. Sharmee's got her little sidekick Angel there. And Angel comes around and wants to be on every show where we're talking light language. It's the sweetest thing. Angel has such an understanding of this energy. So Sharmee, thank you for being here. Jeannette, we're so pleased to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here and talk about something that I absolutely love and am passionate about.
So we have talked about light language, sort of what it is, and for every person it seems to come in a little bit differently at different times in their life. So have you always been able to channel light language, or has this been new for you?
This is, I guess, relatively new for me. Definitely have not been doing this all my life. Let's see, going back now about 3 years, I think it's about 3 years ago, one of my mentors, Jeannette Mouland, she activated me in light language. And it's interesting because initially for like 3 months, nothing really happened. And, I was just patient about it. I wasn't concerned or worried. And I figured when the time was right, it would come through. And then it started coming through a little bit here, a little bit there. And I really didn't understand what was going on, but I just went with it. And during a breathwork session, Martin McNichol was holding a breathwork session. Right in the middle of it, it came through really strong, and it was very, very loving, beautiful energy. And I feel into it more. I don't try to understand it, obviously, and I just go along with whatever's coming through and know that I'm going to receive, or whoever else is receiving will get whatever it is that they need from it at that time. I set intention too ahead of time that whoever is receiving will receive whatever it is that they need in that moment.
So the light language that we've seen so far with folks, often it's verbal, but we've also met some folks that it comes in graphics. Now, for Sharmee, it comes in graphics. Do you ever see light language, or is it always something that you're hearing?
It's always something that I'm hearing. And sometimes I verbalize it, sometimes I just hear it on the inside and just go with it. If I hear it coming through, but I'm not speaking it, if I hear it coming through, I'll usually just sit and allow it to come in. But no, I don't really see anything. And I'm most of the time not really a visual person when it comes to anything from the outer realms that's coming in. It's usually auditory or feeling, sentient.
Now, Jeannette, the first time or first times that you heard it and something came out of your mouth, was it hard for you to make those sounds, or did you just have to kind of shut off that part of your brain that wanted to tell your mouth what to do? How did that work for you?
Actually, when it first started coming through, it just came through. I didn't hear it. So whatever was coming through my mouth was just being channeled, I guess you could say. And I would just, I would just go through it, and it was repeating a lot of the same words all the time. And when I was talking to my mentor, I said that. I said, I feel like am I making this up? I said, I just keep saying the same thing over and over again. She said, no, that's exactly what happens. Not exactly, but for most people, it starts off that way. And then another woman who was in our group, she recorded herself. She was driving, and all of a sudden it started coming through, and it was the same thing over and over again. And her hand motion was the same thing coming over and over, the same over and over again. So it was very, very interesting.
So it's almost
Very
like a
interesting.
training for you, that same word coming in over and over.
I think that's a good way to put it, because I think whatever energy is coming through is training the body to receive it and allow it. And then, the more relaxed I got with it, the more came through. I was
Now,
trying too hard at first.
I would
You know
do
what
that
I mean?
as well, I'm sure. Right. Do you also get hand motions?
Yes.
Okay. Are
Yes, I
they
do.
are they the same hand motions over and over, or do you actually pay attention to the different motions?
I don't pay attention to it. Sometimes I'll recognize something like an infinity symbol or something like that, but it just comes through. And they have that the hand motions have light codes as well that come through. So and you probably, maybe you haven't seen them, because usually when I'm doing it on with a meditation a day, you're probably just in the middle of it.
My eyes are
And
closed. I'm
yeah,
not.
eyes are closed, so you're not seeing it. Yeah, and I think that it's the way for most people, but I can feel it, and it just comes through. And it's okay when I do go into light language. I mean, usually I'll guide people through a meditation, and then the light language comes through, so their eyes are closed. But it's okay with, if you're just receiving the light language, to open your eyes and hear what's going on and see what's going on, because you're still going to receive the light codes.
So the light codes in your hands, are they the same as the words or complementary to the words?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't try to figure it out. I I know that there are people out there that can translate light language, or they understand. They speak different dialects of it. Susan Amara, who is absolutely amazing, she has the Light Language Lounge. I think I had recommended that to Sharmee when it first started coming out for her. And
Yes.
uh, she, she draws these beautiful drawings. She creates these beautiful drawings. She understands all kinds of different uh, dialects, like Arcturian and Palladian and angelic, whatever's coming through. I think for me, what I feel and what I sense, and I know what you have felt with, and I hear it from other people too. For me, it's very Native American
Mhm.
when it comes through, and it does kind of sound that way to me as well. Um, but I don't get any kind of visual, and I don't get any kinds of translation. I just know that that the feeling that comes through is very loving, very peaceful, very calming. And I forget at times, like if I'm going through a very stressful period, I have to remind myself, oh yeah, do some light language, do some breathing, and then allow the light language to come through. So it does. And I think that other people receive it that way as well. It's a very calming, peaceful. Some people receive messages the way you do when I have it. So yeah.
So we have had Susan Amara on. She was on this last time, and it was so fascinating
Oh,
hearing
she is.
hearing her stories.
Yeah.
She is amazing. And Kalina Molnar was on with us,
I've
and
heard her too. I've heard too. Yeah.
yeah, she had shared, I think, 4 different places that she receives messages from. And I'm trying to remember what 2 of them are. One was the galactic realm, one was the angelic realm,
Very.
the fairies, so the elemental realm, and there was one other.
She was talking about 61 different light languages that she spoke, and of which 4 I think were dominant, and then the others were, I believe, dialects of the 4. So the galactic was one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
and
oh,
Earth was
earthly,
the other
yeah,
one.
right,
Earth
earth
one.
and
Yeah.
the
What
elemental
was the other? What was the other one?
earth.
Earthly. Earth. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. That's amazing. I know that what's been coming through probably I would say in the last 6 months to a year is almost like a Buddhist chanting type of language. I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's uh, I may have come, like it came through very strong in my last circle, the monthly circle that I do, and it was so beautiful. And here's the thing: when I first started, I was very critical of my light language because it wasn't beautiful and angelic and like very like my voice wasn't this beautiful singing voice that a lot of people have. And I think that kind of also kept more from coming through because I was being so critical of it, and I had to it had to let go. It was so silly, it really was, but I was able to let go of it and just allow whatever came through to come through in whatever form it decided to take. And recently, I have it has been coming through sometime in song that is just like I was in tears when it came through. That was just about a week and a half ago, I believe. And literally, I was in tears because it was just so beautiful. And I was like, I can't believe that this is coming through for me right now. And I get teared up just thinking about it. And after we were finished with the group, the next day I posted something, and I felt like what came through was coming through from all of us through me, like it was all of our energies together in the circle all coming through at the same time, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And I just felt very blessed to be able to bring that through.
Beautiful.
So I never know.
Sharmee?
So I actually had a question for you, Jeanette.
Yes.
Um, are there specific times of the day where you feel like you channel the light language more strongly, or that, like, is it like divided in slots for you, or it just comes in the spur of the moment? What happens? Because for
You know,
me, like, because I am very new, you know that, and I can't thank you enough for that initiation that you gave me
uh,
into light language. But I keep, like, every time I am out of my shower is where I feel it the most.
yes.
The
And
shower. Yes.
is that true for you?
Yes, I was going to say that as soon as you asked the question. I said, oddly enough, in the shower, in the shower, it comes through for
Yeah.
me, and it's and that's when I actually receive a lot of messages.
Mhm.
I've
Yes.
had Mother Mary come through while I'm in the shower, and it's just so strange, but it's okay. I'll take it. And when I'm in a group setting, it actually
Mm.
comes through so much easier, and I actually feel more of the same. Okay, good. That's so good to know. Because I think because I'm doing it out of service, and I always ask that the highest and good for everyone concerned, and I feel like then it just comes through so much easier without any effort whatsoever. And but when I'm by
Right.
myself, like sometimes when I'm driving my car, because I'm so focused, my mind is so focused on the road that it allows the subconscious to allow whatever to come through. So a lot of times also then, but otherwise even with the fullest intent of having it come through, it may come through, but it isn't the same.
That's so interesting. There is definitely something about in the shower because I have that experience as well. And I've spoken to so many other light workers that there's a in the shower. And I almost wonder if it's a energetic frequency, a vibration that's different when you're surrounded by water vapor.
That, and I think you're also cleansing your aura.
How
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes.
I think that's a part of it, because I do a lot of, or I think about that as I'm showering, that that the water is just washing anything out of my aura that doesn't need to be there. And something that I just remembered too, I think I'm going to start doing this again. I learned a technique for cleaning out the chakras, and I think I'll go back to doing that as well, because I'm sure that opens up frequencies and allows more from the higher realms to come through as well, higher dimensions. But yeah, and I'm sure that definitely the water, that the water, the vapor, that energy is not only cleansing, but I think allowing more clarity to come in. I think it just all works together. But I hear it a lot from other people as well, as far as the shower. So I'm glad to hear you say that, Sharmee. It's just, that's so funny. As soon as you said that, I was like, I already had that in my head.
Yeah.
It comes
And
to,
I am actually just having like an epiphany sort of a thing going on in my head. What they're saying is that, like, right now, even right now, where we are channeling light language, because we have lived in the Atlantean, Lemurian times, and because light language belongs to those eras, and because they are under the water, that it starts to come out when you are either in the shower or close to a water body.
okay.
That's the message I'm hearing. Yeah.
I think that's very true, because I also live by a lake, and if I go down, if I'm out on my
Yes.
paddleboard, the language just comes right through, and in nature as well. Absolutely. I think so. I
Water
think that,
carries energy, so
yeah,
maybe it's the energy that is coming from the water, which we're just channeling because
yeah.
we're in the water.
Oh,
I agree. Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. And moving water especially has, I believe, an energetic flow all of its own that
mhm.
we can receive from. A lot of people will post videos of the light reflecting off of the water, which has energetic codes in it as well. So it is. It's a beautiful thing. And nature as well, being out in nature, I find that it'll come out. But even just being in this group, I can already feel the energy. Just being in here with you, the energy starting to get ready. Yeah, which
Awesome.
is cool.
Well,
Which is cool.
what a beautiful segue. Do you mind if we go ahead and
Oh, sure. Oh, I'd love to. Absolutely. So you can have your eyes open or closed, just being in relaxed, being comfortable wherever you're at, setting the intention to receive whatever it is that you need in this moment. And I will set the intention for the light codes to come through in whatever way is in the highest good for all concerned and for all receiving from this video. Kikua na e asatua tishiaka esa. Senawate e onaya. Nokeata e sika tukoa. Nama eata na sakia. Shera oa tea asaka tia. Tea sikia. Sonotu sea. Kusuata e noa kesiata. Shotuakana satia. Setuatea sekia sua. Shinawatea sekia tanasa eku. Ekuata netia sea te. Sotuka e tumakua sia. Shikia etia ka esi. E sono oata se kia. Sotua, satua, 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 kai ea tana ea sa shotua se ki. Shena ea ta e su a ke. Ake ake o ata sena, 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 sena. No ata e si ata ke. Shotua se kia. Kuatana e asaka. Penoa te ana sea, sea, o atea, seo, to sea. E ato shikiata na sakamia ataea akea utua sakia shikia na saea so tua ta e atu kuasa sono tua mia te atua sakia te asutumi asaya kuasata kuasa te aku ana te a e a uasa e ku mana e te asa. Shua kaya e asa. Tua, 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 tua e si asa si. Tono ko a me ia na ta se kia.
I don't know if you can, but I can hear so much water in the background. It's so evident. Like I can constantly hear, like it sounds like a waterfall or something. Can you hear that? You
Oh,
can.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it started right, like a second before you started. And it was,
Exactly.
and it's almost like this opening up to this whole other realm, vibrational frequencies that have sound to them. Yeah, it's really kind of fascinating. I haven't heard that before.
I think it could be because all three of us are more clairaudient.
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. Jeanette, that was beautiful. It was absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for receiving.
Yeah. Do you mind if I share with you what I saw?
Oh, I always love to hear what you saw.
Well, first, Divine Mother has been so present with me all morning. And when I closed my eyes, I saw Divine Mother coming and sprinkling. It was almost, I would say glitter for lack of any better word, but it's not glitter. It's some kind of energetic light, right? So she was sprinkling that on people's heads. So it wasn't just the two of us sitting here with you, it's others that are here. And you're a beautiful woman, and she, I just see the shape of her. I don't ever get any details, but the higher self that you're bringing through, she was doing the same over people that were with her. And she said, this process of it, what you were doing, Jeanette, was an activation. I don't know if you know that. That was an activation. And both of these and divine women were doing their part of the activation by sprinkling this light on others. And your higher self said, it's like fruit when it's ripe, right? You don't get really all of it until you are ripe and ready. And she said also, so she was not sprinkling on everybody who was sitting there, right? She was going to certain ones that were ready, that were ripe, ready for it. And then she said, like fruit, it has to let go of the safety of the tree. So the people who are ready to receive this are ready to not have this security cord attached to them all the time. They are ready to stand out there and receive. And what I was seeing was that there are several groups that you can connect in with for light language. And what I was told was you get to choose. And so I was going directly right in with the angelic realm because that's where I tend to work. And I was told um, one is not better than the other. There's no hierarchy, right? They're all beautiful. It was clearly an activation,
Oh,
Jeannette.
good. I like that. And what I heard at the end, right after I finished, was this was gifted with much love, or this was sent with much love. And I again feel that peace and that love while it's going through. And there's like it's like nothing else exists. And there's no worries, there's no cares. It's almost like I'm taken to this place that is just free, just it's incredible. And I just feel as if I'm stepping aside and just allowing whatever comes through, and it's beautiful. So whenever I honestly don't know why I don't do this more often. I really don't. But again, it feels just more comfortable and more flowing when I'm in a group setting, when it's more, or just more than, me. It's when there's another person involved, and it just seems to allow the energy to move through. And I'm not sure why that is for me, except when I'm in the shower
Yeah.
and driving my car. So, well, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me, because it definitely felt quite special what was coming through.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
It
We just
was.
we just have one more minute or so. Sharmee, do you have any additional questions?
Yes, I do. So my last question to you is, um, for those who are in question with the light language, are they doing it right? Are they not doing it right? Should they be having somebody initiating them per se? Should it be learned by through a mentor, or should they be doing their own thing? What is that one message you would want to give out to people like that, who are still in
I
question, still wondering if they're special enough or whatever?
Yeah, first, that's a great question. And what my guidance would be to know that everybody and anybody can do this. We all have the gift within us to do that, and there's nobody that is more special than another person. There is no hierarchy, and that whatever is coming through, to trust that it is exactly what they need at that time. And if they receive guidance to find a mentor, then absolutely go and find a mentor. But if they're not receiving that guidance and they wanted to allow it to come through as it comes through in time, um, to um, to just trust it. I didn't I It took me a lot, and it does. And don't judge yourself if you aren't trusting it, and don't judge yourself if you're judging it. Just go with the flow, because that's what I did initially. But once I learned to trust it and allow it to come through, it's really been so beautiful, and I feel like I've been able to help so many people with it. and help myself, especially. And it's a beautiful thing. And if they allow it to come through, they can pass it on to other people as well,
Yeah.
if they choose to.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great question.
And I loved when you said, Jeannette, don't judge yourself if you are judging it.
Yeah. Because I was doing that. I really had to just become the witnessing observer of it, because like I would listen to other people and I would just be like, oh, that's so beautiful. Why can't my light language come through like that? And then finally I just realized that I needed to let that go. And when I did, I fell in love with my own light language and was able to share it then with the world in any way that I could. And that's why I so appreciate a meditation a day when I get to go on and do, share it with everybody, because haven't quite gotten to really putting it out there, except for, my group and my clients or anything like that. So it's nice to be able to put it out there.
Excellent. Well, we'll put you to work, that's for sure, because we love your meditations. So we
Oh,
do
thank
need
you.
to wrap up, but Sharmee, thank you for being here to host. Jeannette, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
Um,
absolutely love working with you and getting to hear your light language, because she always has a message that I can hear and that means something really significant. So thank you.
Thank you, because I love hearing it, and I definitely think there's a big connection there. And Sharmee, it was so good to see you again. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you and what you're doing. That's amazing. It really is amazing. And have you been on the Light Language Lounge? I know we're getting ready to sign off, but
I've not had a chance to because of the timings.
the timing. Okay, yeah, because I think I may go ahead. I may try to go on the next time, but so stay tuned.
Right, so that's with Susan Amara and
Yes.
her Light Language Lounge.
Mhm.
So, all right, friends, we do need to get off. So much love
Okay.
to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, friends. If you want to learn more about light language, you're in the right place. Enlightened World Network. It's beautiful, and I'm so glad we're a platform for this. So much love. Take good care, and God bless.
Bye.